Let's be honest. New York City is the greatest city in the world. It's a city I call home, and so does the 5th generation Pokemon games. However, Game Freak decided that instead of basing the entire region on just New York City, they would include blasphemous places like New Jersey. New York City has a very rich and diverse region in itself, and I wonder how the Pokemon region actually would look like if it's based off just the 5 boroughs. So for this video, let's discuss a hypothetical NYC region and place where gyms and other important locations would be in real life New York City. First of all, this is going to be just New York City, no New Jersey at all. Why would I include a poverty state like New Jersey when NYC has everything? For the starting town, the best place hands down has got to be Staten Island. It's the perfect place for a starting town because Staten Island is literally just houses. There's really not anything to do, so for a place that is quiet and just having people live there, it makes the perfect starting town. I do like the idea of a kid going out from a small town island of Staten Island into going to a more lively areas for their Pokemon journey. I would then have it that they take the ferry into downtown Manhattan, just like in real life if you want to go from Staten Island into Manhattan. In the Pokemon games, this is where Castelia City is, and home to the 3rd gym. Game Freak did a great job on turning downtown Manhattan into a Pokemon city, so I'll leave it alone. But I wouldn't have it be the first gym in this hypothetical region. Instead, I would have them go take the subway or walk across the Brooklyn Bridge into Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a lot more energetic in its vibe, and in my opinion, a great place for some early gyms. After crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, you'll be in Dumbo, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. There's a lot to do over here in real life, so it'd make a great place for a city and a Pokemon gym. Another place in Brooklyn that I would make have a gym is Coney Island. When it comes to Brooklyn, Coney Island is one of the few neighborhoods that immediately pop up. I spent a good amount of time going there in my childhood, and it's a place that has a unique vibe compared to the rest of New York City. It's a grimy beach neighborhood that has a New York charm to it. There are other places in Brooklyn that I would think would be a town or a city, just not having a gym. One place would be Industry City, located near the water, Park Slope for all the rich people, and Bed-Stuy because I like Everybody Hates Chris. In Queens, I think mixing Flushing and Corona would be the best decision when it comes to a place to include a gym. The super cool Globe thing is located at, and this city would have a huge park. Maybe even have the gym inside the Globe or in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. This hybrid of Corona/Flushing would encapsulate all the parts of Queens that I like, and compared to other neighborhoods, these are the ones that I like the most. But I would also include a gym in Long Island City. This isn't a super popular area of Queens, but it has the Pepsi-Cola symbol, so if that isn't deserving of a gym, I don't know what is. And it's a place that's really close to Manhattan, so I wanted to include a gym there before the trainer would leave Queens. Other places in Queens that would have towns or cities, I would think, is Jackson Heights. That's a place I spent a lot of time in, and is where the best chicken over rice is located at. In the Bronx, I actually put one gym. I don't know a lot about the Bronx, except for the fact that my Citizen app blows up like crazy every time I go there. There's actually a good amount of landmarks or places of interest in Bronx, like the zoo or a Yankee Stadium. So I put a gym in Fordham, literally in the middle of the Bronx. I wouldn't want the trainer getting mugged if I had them go to South Bronx. And from the Bronx, we finally head down to Manhattan for the final stretch. There's actually a lot more to Manhattan than just Wall Street or Times Square. But places like Washington Heights just don't have the history to include a gym. So previously mentioned, downtown Manhattan would have a gym, midtown Manhattan, and Harlem. These are probably the most lived in and bustling parts of Manhattan, so I think it'd be perfect to have these places have gyms. On the way to these gyms, the trainer could go to so many great neighborhoods, such as Chinatown, Little Italy, the Piers, Central Park, Upper East or West Side, Hell's Kitchen. Safe to say, you can make a lot of great towns in Manhattan without needing a damn desert. The Elite Four and Champion would be in a skyscraper. I wanted to do the Empire State Building at first because it's one of the most well-known towers in the world, but it's not the tallest building in New York City, and the Champion has to be on the tippity top. That's why the Elite Four and Champion will be located in the World Trade Center, the tallest skyscraper in the United States and place that'll house the trainer's final test. After beating and becoming the champion, the trainer could overlook all of New York City from the top. Game Freak did do a good job on incorporating New York City into a region, including places like Governors or Liberty Island. I really like the bridges and the subway idea they had. They give off massive New York City vibes, and including public transportation in one way or another, I feel like they handled it pretty damn good. I wish it was a bit more obvious on what each town was based on in-game. You can look at Castilia and easily determine where it's from, but not so much after that. In my hypothetical New York City region, I would have the post-game take place in upstate or Long Island. I really don't know what there is in these places, but I'm willing to have my post-game there, so a trainer does not have to suffer in New Jersey.